Title: The Maw of Forgotten Depths. The villagers of Blackshell Cove never spoke of the drowned chapel, the half-sunken ruin that lurked beyond the harbor's mouth, its spire jutting from the waves like a broken rib. But when the storm stole their children, they whispered of him, the one who hungers in the dark, the one who wears the sea like a skin. Captain Rayla Morden knew better than to dredge up old terrors. Yet when her crew dragged a net full of writhing, human-shaped things onto the deck of the harrowed Queen, she felt the chapel's pull. The creatures had no eyes, only hollow sockets weeping black brine. Their mouths split vertically, lined with rows of needle teeth, and their flesh, it pulsed, as if something nested beneath. "Toss 'em back!" Rayla barked, but the crew hesitated. The things began to sing. It was no melody. It was the sound of drowned lungs gasping, of barnacle-scraped bone. The men clutched their heads, screaming as their ears bled. One, a boy named Jin, pressed his face to the deck and began to chew. Not the wood, his own tongue. By dawn, the crew was gone. Only Jin remained, his jaw unhinged like a serpent's, his throat swollen with a grotesque lump that squirmed. He rasped a single word: consecrate. Rayla sailed to the chapel alone. The ruin was not stone, but flesh. Barnacles crusted its walls like scabs, and the tides heaved through its arches with a wet, rhythmic groan. Inside, the air was thick with the stench of rotting kelp and spoiled communion wine. The altar was a slab of fused human teeth, and upon it lay a figure, a thing of tangled kelp and sinew, its face a shifting mosaic of drowned sailors' features. "You brought no offering," it gurgled, its voice a chorus of suffocating throats. Rayla drew her pistol. "I brought lead." The thing laughed, and the walls wept blood. "You misunderstand. The offering is you." The chapel moved. Ribs of coral snapped shut around the harrowed Queen, piercing its hull. Rayla fell to her knees as seawater flooded the deck, but it wasn't water. It was thick and warm and alive. It forced itself down her throat, into her veins, and she felt her bones liquefy. When she awoke, she was in the belly of the chapel. The villagers found the harrowed Queen the next morning, beached on the cove. Its sails were made of stitched human skin, its mast a spine fused with rusted anchor chains, and in the hold, they say Captain Morden still lives there, if you can call it living. Her body is a nest of eels and hagfish, her face a screaming void where the thing inside her peers out. She crawls along the walls, her limbs bending in impossible directions, whispering to the rats in the shadows. But the villagers don't speak of the worst part. At night, when the tide retreats, the drowned chapel rises fully from the waves. Its spire splits open into a jagged maw, and from its throat pours a flood of those eyeless singing things. They shamble ashore, clutching bundles of kelp-wrapped bones, new offerings for their god. And if you listen closely, you can hear Rayla's voice among the chorus, begging through a mouthful of parasites. "Don't look at the water, don't look at the water, don't—" The chapel is always hungry,